If you think loving a woman means sacrificing yourself, listen carefully, because this belief quietly destroys attraction. Most men never see it coming. One day she's into you, the next she's distant, cold, gone, and you're left replaying every nice thing you did, wondering how doing more somehow led to losing everything. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people won't tell you. Attraction doesn't respond to effort the way you were taught. In dark psychology, the behaviors that look loving often trigger the opposite response at a subconscious level. Men are programmed to believe that giving more earns love. More time, more sacrifice, more tolerance. But attraction isn't a reward system. It's a perception system. And when you cross certain invisible psychological lines, something flips in her mind. Not logically, instinctively. Today, I'm going to expose 5 behaviors that feel right, but silently rewire how she sees you. Not because you're bad, but because no one warned you. And the first one? It's the most common and the most destructive, because it doesn't look like a mistake at all. The first thing you must never do for any woman is this: abandon your purpose for her. This is where the trap closes slowly and quietly. At first it feels noble. You cancel workouts, delay goals, put dreams on pause. You tell yourself, this is what commitment looks like. But here's the dark psychology behind it. What originally attracted her wasn't your availability. It was your direction. A man with a mission triggers attraction because his life has momentum. When you drop that mission and make her the center of your universe, something shifts. Not instantly, gradually. She doesn't think, he loves me so much. Her subconscious thinks, he has nothing without me. And that creates pressure. Pressure kills desire. Now her mood controls your happiness. Her attention controls your confidence. She becomes responsible for your emotional stability, and that weight repels her. This is why men say, she changed. No, the dynamic changed. You stopped being the man moving forward and became the man waiting. And once attraction senses stagnation, it starts looking for movement elsewhere. But this is just the first mistake. The second one is even more dangerous because it disguises itself as being a good man. The second thing you must never do: take responsibility for problems that aren't yours. This one destroys attraction silently while you think you're being supportive. Men are wired to fix. See a problem, solve it. See someone struggling, step in. But in dark psychology, how you help matters more than that you help. When you constantly rescue her, the relationship shifts. You stop being a partner and become a utility. You fix her work stress, mediate her friendships, cover her financial gaps, absorb her emotional chaos. And every time you do, you send a hidden message. I don't believe you can handle your own life. She may appreciate it. She may rely on it, but she will not desire it. Caretakers are respected for their usefulness, not wanted for their presence. Here's the psychological flip. Support creates respect. Rescue creates dependency. And dependency eventually turns into entitlement, then resentment. The man who keeps attraction doesn't say, I'll fix it. He says, I trust you to handle it. He listens without taking over. He's present without absorbing the burden. He believes in her competence, and that belief is magnetic. But most men cross another invisible line right after this one. A line that exposes insecurity so clearly, attraction can't survive it. And that's coming next. The third thing you must never do: chase her approval or compete for her attention. This is where attraction collapses fast. It doesn't look like desperation at first. It looks like effort, like interest, like caring. But dark psychology reads it differently. When you constantly check if she's happy, adjust your opinions to match hers. Wait for her reactions to decide how you feel. You're handing her control over your self-worth. And once that happens, the polarity is gone. Approval-seeking turns you into someone waiting to be evaluated. Attention-competing turns love into a contest you're afraid of losing. Jealousy leaks out. Over-explaining shows up. Trying harder replaces being grounded. And the message underneath all of it is this: I don't believe I'm enough on my own. Attraction cannot survive that signal. The men women gravitate toward aren't performing. They aren't auditioning. They're not fighting for position. They're centered. Their worth doesn't rise or fall based on a text, a mood, or another man's presence. If she chooses them, great. If she doesn't, that's information, not a threat. Here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing approval, she starts offering it. But if you think this mistake is bad, the next one is lethal, because it happens before she even knows who you really are. The fourth thing you must never do: overinvest before she's earned it. This is where attraction dies early, quietly, and permanently. You feel chemistry, you feel potential, so you go all in. Constant availability, expensive dates, future talk after a few weeks, emotional declarations before real commitment. It feels romantic, it feels honest. But dark psychology reveals a harsh truth. Attraction needs uncertainty to breathe. When you give everything up front, there's nothing left to discover. No tension, no mystery, no chase. Her subconscious doesn't think, "I feel safe." It thinks, "This came too easy," and things that come too easily lose value. Overinvestment signals low standards. It suggests you do this for anyone who showed interest, and that kills perceived value. Healthy attraction is reciprocal. She invests, you invest. She leans in, you lean in. Not one man pouring endlessly while she decides. Matching energy isn't manipulation, it's discernment. Your time, attention, and emotion are valuable. Giving them without earning teaches her not to respect them. But even if you avoid all four of these mistakes, there's one final behavior that destroys everything, slowly, then all at once. And most men don't realize it until it's too late. The fifth thing you must never do: tolerate disrespect. This is where relationships rot from the inside. It never starts big, it starts subtle. A joke at your expense, a dismissive tone, a boundary crossed just this once. You let it slide to keep the peace. You tell yourself you're being mature, understanding, easygoing. But dark psychology says something else is happening. You're teaching her how to treat you. Every time you tolerate disrespect, you lower the floor. And once the floor drops, it never rises on its own. What she learns isn't that you're kind. She learns that consequences don't exist. And here's the part most men miss. Women don't lose attraction because a man sets boundaries. They lose attraction when a man doesn't have any. Disrespect is a subconscious test, not a conscious one, but an instinctive check for self-respect. When you fail it, attraction fades, even if she can't explain why. But holding boundaries doesn't mean anger. It doesn't mean drama. It means calm certainty. And how you enforce those boundaries decides everything. Here's what enforcing boundaries actually looks like, because most men get this wrong. She makes a cutting comment. You don't explode. You don't joke it off either. Later, privately, you say, "That wasn't okay. I don't accept being spoken to like that." Calm, direct, finished. No arguing, no convincing, no emotional pleading. This is dark psychology in action. Boundaries only work when they're enforced with action, not emotion. If it happens again, there's distance, less access, less availability, or you walk away completely. Not as punishment, but as self-respect. Here's the rule most men never learn. You don't control her behavior. You control your presence. And presence is what she values. Men who tolerate disrespect chase short-term peace and pay with long-term loss of attraction. Men who enforce boundaries risk losing her, but gain her respect. And respect is the gateway emotion. Without it, love cannot survive. Now here's the pattern you might be noticing. All 5 mistakes point to the same flaw. And once you see it, everything changes. Notice the pattern connecting all 5 mistakes. Abandoning purpose, fixing her life, chasing approval, overinvesting, tolerating disrespect. They all come from the same place: scarcity. In dark psychology, scarcity creates submission. Abundance creates attraction. When you act like she's your only option, your behavior bends around fear. Fear of losing her, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. So you overgive, over-explain, over-tolerate, and without realizing it, you hand her the power you're afraid of losing. Here's the truth most men avoid. You cannot negotiate attraction. You cannot buy it with sacrifice. You cannot secure it by erasing yourself. Attraction responds to wholeness. A man with purpose doesn't cling. A man with standards doesn't beg. A man with self-respect doesn't tolerate what weakens him. The moment you stop needing her to feel complete, the dynamic flips. Now she's not your source of value. She's an addition. And that shift, it's felt instantly. But here's the final twist most men don't expect. The problem was never her behavior. It was the frame you were operating from. And that's what we end with. Here's the frame that changes everything. The needy man asks, how do I keep her? How do I make sure she doesn't leave? What more can I give? The grounded man asks something completely different. Is she adding to my life? Does she meet my standards? Is this dynamic mutual? Same relationship, opposite energy. In dark psychology, women can feel the difference instantly. It feels heavy. What feels clean? When you need her, she carries your emotional weight. When you want her, she gets to choose you freely. That freedom is what creates desire. Here's the irony. The man who's okay losing her is the man she's afraid to lose. Not because he's cold, but because he's complete. He doesn't manipulate. He doesn't perform. He doesn't chase. He shows up as himself, with purpose, boundaries, and standards. And if she fits, great. If not, he keeps moving forward. There's one last truth you need to hear. Because if you miss this, you'll repeat every mistake again, just with a different woman. Here's the final truth. These 5 mistakes are symptoms, not the disease. The real issue isn't what you're doing wrong with women. It's what you believe about yourself. When a man doesn't believe he's a catch, he overgives. He sacrifices. He tolerates. He chases. Not out of love, out of fear. In dark psychology, attraction flows toward certainty. Toward men who know their value without needing it confirmed. That's why strategies only work temporarily. If the foundation is weak, the behaviors will always leak insecurity. So stop asking, how do I keep her? Start building a life you're proud of. A body you respect. A mission that excites you. Standards that protect your peace. When you become that man, relationships stop feeling fragile. You don't calculate texts. You don't fear silence. You don't tolerate disrespect. You choose. And the right woman recognizes it. Not because you tried to impress her, but because you didn't need to. That's the shift. From needing to be chosen, to being someone worth choosing. Don't abandon your purpose. Don't rescue what isn't yours. Don't chase approval. Don't overinvest. Never tolerate disrespect. Not as tactics, as principles. Because when you respect yourself, attraction follows naturally.